Your CRM needs an AI agent. Most SME leaders are already using AI somewhere, usually for content, a LinkedIn post, a blog outline, a few email subject lines, maybe even a proposal section when the brain has started to turn to porridge at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And that is useful, but it is also the smallest use of what is available right now. The bigger shift is using AI agents inside your lead generation process. Not just asking ChatGPT to write a message, but using AI to help with the places where leads, sales notes, inquiries, and follow ups already live. Because most SME sales and marketing problems are not caused by a lack of ideas, they are caused by gaps in the process. Leads come in and nobody qualifies them properly. Someone has a great sales call and then forgets to follow up. We've all been there. A proposal goes out and then sits there doing nothing. Your CRM has names in it, but no useful next step. Your team spends time researching poor fit prospects while decent opportunities drift because nobody has time to work them properly. That is where agents can really help us business leaders. More importantly, most businesses can start doing this without buying specialist software or hiring developers. If you already use a CRM and AI assistant such as ChatGPT or Claude and possibly a simple connector like Zapier or Make, you have enough to start building your first workflow. But before we get into the tools, let's make the idea simple. An AI agent is an AI given a job inside a workflow. It needs five things: a trigger, a task, some rules, access to the right information, and a clear output. The trigger is what starts the process. A new lead comes into your CRM, someone fills in the form, a proposal is marked as sent, a call transcript is uploaded, a deal has had no activity for 10 days. The task is what you want the agent to do. So, for example, you may want it to research the company, score the lead, draft the follow up, create a next task, summarize the call, flag the opportunity, suggest which case study to send next, or product card. The rules are how you stop making up its own little version of reality. You tell it what a good lead looks like. You tell it what a perfect lead looks like. You tell it your sectors or company size or budget range, sales process, tone of voice, offer, and what it is not allowed to do. The information is whatever the agent needs to work from, and that might be your CRM records, website form responses, call notes, meeting transcripts, emails, company websites, LinkedIn profiles, or a document you upload with your sales criteria. And the output is what your team gets back: a lead score, a research summary, a suggested next action, or a follow up draft, a call brief, or a list of stale opportunities that need attention. That is the basic model: trigger, task, rules, information, and output. Once you understand that, AI agents stop feeling like some massive technical thing and start looking much more like process design. So let's look at the first workflow an SME could set up. So start with lead triage. The easiest place to begin is new lead handling. At the minute, a lead might come in through your website, LinkedIn referral, email, or an event follow up. Someone then has to open the inquiry, check who the person is, look at the company, decide whether it is worth pursuing, and put some notes into the CRM. And that is exactly the kind of first pass work an AI agent can support. The job is really simple. Every time a new lead comes into the CRM, research it, summarize it, score it, whether it looks a good fit, and suggest the next action. That is your first agent workflow, not a fully automated sales machine, and certainly not AI taking over the entire relationship. Just a lead triage agent that stops every new inquiry starting as a blank record. So, what you're going to need somewhere the lead currently lands, and that might be a HubSpot, or it could be a Pipedrive or a Salesforce. a website form, or even a spreadsheet if you're at the simpler end. You need an AI tool, and that might be ChatGPT or Claude, your tool of choice, or your CRM's own AI features, or another assistant connected to your systems. You may need a connector. That is where Zapier or Make comes in. But this is the bit people need to understand. Zapier is not the agent. Make is not the agent. They're just connectors. They move information from one platform to another. So if your CRM already has AI built in, you may not need Zapier at all. If your CRM does not have useful AI features, a connector can send the lead information to ChatGPT or Claude, then send the AI's answer back to your CRM. And that is the practical setup. CRM gets the lead. The connector sends the details to AI. AI returns a summary, score, and next step. The connector puts the answer back into CRM. The human reviews it, and that's it. So here's how to set it up. First, decide the trigger. For this workflow, the trigger is new lead created in CRM. That means every time someone fills your website form or is manually added as a lead, the workflow kicks off. Second, decide what information the AI needs. Start with the basics. So, for example, what's the name of the individual? What's their company, their website, their email, what message do you want in there, their service interest? Do they have a budget? What's their timeline? Where did the lead come from? If you have more detail, that's great. But if you don't, just start with what you have. Then write the agent prompt. Do not overcomplicate it. Something like, review this new lead, summarize who they are, what they appear to need, whether they are a high, medium, or low fit for our business, why you scored them that way, and what the next best action should be. A high fit lead for us might be a B2B business with 7 to 150 employees with a clear commercial problem. And that's something that we would want to look at. A low fit lead is too early stage, has no clear budget, is looking for something we do not offer, or appears to need a cheap one-off execution rather than strategic support. So don't send anything to that lead, and only provide a recommendation for human review. And that final sentence matters. Do not send anything to the lead. Only provide a recommendation for human review. That keeps the human in complete control of the process. Fourth, tell the AI what output you want. Keep it really short. A company summary, likely need, fit score. Are they high, medium, or low? What's the reason for the score? What possible concerns do you have with this opportunity? Suggest a next action and draft a reply if needed. That means your team gets something useful and not something nobody reads. Send the output back to CRM, and this could be saved as a note, a task, a field, or an internal comment. The point is that when your team opens the lead record, they do not just see a name and email address. They start to see context. They see whether the lead looks worth prioritizing. They see what to do next. That is the difference. What this changes for everyone using this is this does not replace your salesperson or your marketing manager or your founder. It removes the repetitive first pass work that slows everything down. Instead of a human operating every new inquiry and thinking, right, who is this and what do we need to do with it? The agent gives them a starting point. They can still disagree with that starting point, but they get a starting point. They should still use their own judgment, but they are no longer starting with a blank page. And if you're an SME leader, that matters because time is usually the thing you're shortest of. You do not need more names sitting in a CRM. You need to know who is worth speaking to, what they care about, and what should happen next. Then build the next workflow. Once lead triage works, you can add another agent workflow. Do not build 10 at once. Just start with one, then add the next. A call prep agent could trigger when a meeting is booked. And this will help you pull together the inquiry, the CRM notes, the website, previous emails, and any relevant context. The output is a one-page call brief. What they do, what to ask, what to listen for, what proof point may be useful. You could be looking at what objection might come up and how that would be handled. A follow-up agent could trigger after a call transcript is uploaded. It summarizes the call, pulls out the key points, drafts the follow-up, and creates the next CRM task. A stale opportunity agent could run once a week. It scans the CRM for leads with no next action, proposals with no follow-up, or opportunities that have been sitting still for too long. The output is a list of opportunities that need attention, with a suggested next move for each. Follow up, move to nurture, ask for a decision, and then close is lost if it's no longer progressing. And that alone should stop a lot of opportunities leaking. So start with the problem, not the tool. This is where a lot of businesses get it wrong, because they start asking questions like, what AI agent should we buy? That is the wrong question. Start by asking, where are leads currently slowing down? Where are we doing the same manual task repetitively over and over again? Where are good opportunities being missed? Where are poor fit leads wasting time? Where does follow up fall apart? Where does the CRM stop actually being useful any longer? Pick one of these problems and build one of the workflows, and test it on about 20 leads. Check whether the output is actually useful. Then improve the rules. If the AI keeps scoring weak leads too highly, tighten your criteria. If the summaries are too long, shorten the output. If the suggested next actions are vague, give it better examples. This is not a one and done setup. It is a process you improve over and over again. And the human is vitally important to this. AI agents should not remove human judgment at any point. They should protect it. They should take away the repetitive research, summarizing, sorting, and drafting, so your team can spend more time on the work that actually needs them. Better conversations for better decisions, for better follow-up, for much better relationships. And that is the point. Not more AI for the sake of it, not another tool sitting in the corner, pretending that it's sort of half useful. A clear lead generation process, doing the repeatable bits, and humans doing the work that actually turns the dial. And that is where AI agents can make a real difference for SMEs. So thanks again for listening this week. And if you really like the content of this show, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe.